I mean, you can serve in the military, you can vote at 18, but I mean, you can't buy a gun at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a constitutional right, and you can't buy one there.
So it seemed kind of hypocritical to you and not entirely fair.
Yes, ma'am.
How did this go down, so to speak? In other words, did you go and tell your boss you thought this was unfair, or did you? I know that you put a letter together in which, on your Facebook page, you said that you can't be there in the face of these new gun policies, and you said that you find them morally and constitutionally wrong, and you refuse to be part of a corporation with these liberal policies. How did that go over, say, with your immediate supervisors?
I mean, I'm sure they weren't happy as I was leaving the store. I think I was doing pretty well at Dick's Sporting Goods. However, they understood. They were great managers and great other employees there. But just those corporate policies, I couldn't handle it anymore with that.
You're a hunter?
Yes, ma'am. I do a bunch of it.
And how long have you been hunting?
I believe I started hunting at age 13 in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas.
Did you get to buy your own gun then?
Well, yeah, I mean, through my dad,
mom?
but at age 13, I mean, yeah, definitely.
So it's part of your culture. You grew up hunting.
Yeah.
You think it's something you should be able to do. I mean, look, in the face of everything that's been happening right now, I mean, what do you say to those kids that are down there in Florida that saw so much tragedy and have lost their friends and students they went to school with every day?
By all means, they have every right to protest and do everything that they think is right in their mind. It's America. It's a freedom of speech. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think banning ARs or changing the age limit by any means is going to help stop these shootings. I mean, if you look at the statistics on it, I mean, how many of them were actually below the age of 21? I mean, the vast majority were over the age of 21 that actually did these mass shootings. And on top of that, I mean, if you make ARs illegal, I mean, there's a huge black market for them. I mean, you could very easily, a criminal could very easily purchase one, whereas you're just taking firearms from legal citizens that aren't planning on doing anything wrong.
So
criminals are going to break laws.
I mean, is it a mental health issue, and we need to be much tougher in terms of these mental health difficulties that some people face, or is it having far more investigative background checks that make it more difficult, say, for someone with a mental health issue to get a gun in the first place?
In all honesty, I think there's two major things we need to do. One, we need to up security at these schools. There needs to be far more armed individuals guarding these schools. I mean, a school is a very, very soft target. It's very easy for a criminal to penetrate it, and there's not many people there to stop him. If you arm some people at the school, I mean, let's say teachers, principals, a few more resource officers, some security guards, anything like that, that's going to help. And then on top of that, controlled entry into the school, metal detectors, security guards at the front door, lower the number of entrances into the school.
Yeah, it's one idea, and then of course, you know, maybe making it harder for a crazy man like that kid in Florida to get a gun in the first place, age limit aside.